Now, Siza Uvutondaba of the program, in the sense of the guests that we have. We are going to have Mr. Chocho to introduce our first guest speaker. But before we get there, it's not that there's a speaker ZUKHALI, but each time Simana Singola, now the sound gets cancelled out because the sound coming from the speaker, there's voices in. Now I want to appeal to you as our guest speaker is going to be on the podium. I want us to listen to the message that he's bringing to us. He has prepared himself and has taken the time, even though now it's 3:10. But we say lapa. And we are here to listen to Lamanda Zosnika Wona. Because the corner lendo as we begin our examinations on Monday. So as I call Mr. Chocho Nimpakamise ngegwijo naye nizawuthinta nimpakamise Mr. Chocho. Itulo. Timtange. Sizophakamisa Mr. Chocho. Timtange.
Sorry, where Richie, a Buffalo seat. Ukale, you tell as I say, no pala where Richie, eh? And we keynote speak, advocate. It's better we advocate. Say, why, eh? The no pala, take advocate. What you done?
Viva Pundo, viva! Viva Ngimpundo, viva! With bright future forward. Forward! With bright future forward. And this will say, the management yesikolo ekwakhelwe CO desk ikhambule hlobo wami. And your keynote speaker and ends the message of support. Valendo, I've been with him since he started this great idea. That was 2008-09. I've been with this school. That's the reason olapha ndibulise ku-chaplains, ndibulise ku-leadership, ndibulise kwi-advocate, ndibulise kubafundi abasize ngabo. Igama lam ndinguLoyiso Mgubelo. I'm the former regional chairperson of the ANC UKF, presiding as a convener, as I have been appointed, but with the same duties. Lo mntu ndizam-introducer ke i-giant. Andizuvele ndithi ubani kabani. I'm a leader in my own right. I have to reflect just on 3 things that I wish to reflect, Kambula, as my introducer, the speaker, say to Secretary ANC. Firstly, manje reflect kunto ethu ngokwe-calendar ye-African National Congress, October ngoku. Inyanga katata u-Oliver Tambo. Utata uTambo, niyamazi? Niyamazi Oliver Tambo? Utata Oliver Tambo is a generation that's when need that youth activism must be found and be realized kule country yaseMzantsi Afrika to shape our future, to shape the future yala generation. Otata uTambo bamisela i-structure solution within the African National Congress. That is into yokuqala endifuna ureflecta kuyo. Eyesibini, otata uTambo baba imizekelo and the role models kwi-generation ezilandelayo, and the generation yo tata uSteve Biko. Niyamazi? Yes. Utata uSteve Biko ke was a leader of Black Consciousness movement. Akontributile ke kule nkululeko siyixhamlayo namhlanje. They led a struggle when the political organization mass democratic movement bezibhekisiwe. Apho ndiyakhona ndifuna ukuthi bazi-organize bengabafundi to provide a directive and to shape the future of the country. Through their activism, we experienced massacre student activism in 1976. Lando si celebrate as June 16. After that, imibutho yabafundi yaye yadisbandwa. Kwafomishwa umbutho kuthiwa yi-COSAS, Congress of South African Students. So nina ke, you belong to a generation of COSAS. As you are student, that's what you subscribe to. I'm reflecting on that because the COSAS yamisela amasebe ekuthiwa RCL, Representative Council of Learners. That's where you belong. So i-COSAS ke ya-organize a community, ya-organize abasebenzi, ya-organize abafundi to be rebellious against apartheid. At the time, the African National Congress had been issuing imibutho, but they led the struggle to democracy in 1994. So, Yellow Putin, this I'm introducer, is a former provincial secretary with COSAS, is a former treasurer general with COSAS nationally. He has led the no Julius Malem. Is a former secretary general with COSAS. He has led national material. But because of his love for Umzabalazo, namhlanje is the regional secretary of the African National Congress. Uyi-principal, uyi-boss bayebhungeni, uqeshe oVuku Skoyana bengokuceba. Uqeshe omeya, uqeshe oSpeaker. Uqeshe bonke abantu abanoxanduva. That is very critical kwinto edibene service delivery yale metro. As I said, but andiso speaker, but in the introducer yena ukuze aninike amazwi enkuthazo. As someone that has been produced by the activism yabafundi, as someone that has participated and gave ubumba bakhe kulo mzabalazo ukuze nina nibe kanti niyaxhamla namhlanje. As I reflected, mna ndingeso speaker into yobana I've been with Ulwazi since 2008, 2009. Ukhambule senjwe ngenanteshe ke ngoku. Ngapha ke nijonge ezinye pictures. So ke as I land lo bhuti ke ndim-introduceayo uAntonio Bheki Karels. As I land kule nyanga katata uThambo ndifuna nindive kahle. Ndifuna ukota amazwi akhe uthi the children of any nation are its future. A country, a movement, a person that does not value its youth and children does not deserve its future. So we can inoxanduva. Because it is not only about your future yenu niziziqo. The contribution ifakwe kuni it is about to shape ilizwe and to defend the gains of democracy. Over to you, Nobody.
Amanda, each one, each one, each one, each one, each one. Thank you very much, Program Director. Mandibulise abefundisi. Umfundisi uPam, Sis Pam, umfundisi uToto, umfundisi uThompson. Umfundisi uFaca nomfundisi uLeke. Okay. Ndiyabulisa kwabefundisi. Let me also take this moment to greet the principal of the school, the CEO. I'm the CEO. The Chief Executive Officer. I take executive decisions in the absence of the board. And report to the board later of all my decisions. As I'm the principal, in the absence of the board, I take decisions. And the board at times, how you present as a board, they can change them if they want to. But mine, in my short time, the political arena, they've never been changed. And I'm going to changes are missed. Yes. Call your pa 15. Now let me greet the school principal and also the Bulelani School Management Committee. Sometimes we forget to talk to the teachers and we talk to the learners at most. So I want to appreciate Otishara Balapa Kwesi School. They are fairly young, principal. They are fairly young. Tahuva now you matriculated in 2003. So all of you are fairly young, with the CEO included. And I matriculated in 2004, which is a year after you. So I'm 20 years now having matriculated from Alphandale High School. But I think just as a gesture, principal, CEO, I know 3 years ago, I once supported e-activity or Tisha. I can't remember what it was, but I once supported an activity of the teachers. You came to me with Otishar, I think 3 or 4 of them, who supported that activity. But I'm saying to Sis Pam, I've always wanted to be a part of the school. Let me just take the teachers, just the teachers only, for a dinner, a night to remember. Just get on with Tishara and appreciate them for the good work they are instilling into these young learners. So let's appreciate you also, Tishara. I will liaise with my counterpartner here who's a CEO. And immediately after exams, sikwazi udibana ngenhloko sibakhuphe otishara sihlale and just for them to enjoy themselves and forget about any other thing. Savala ke mna ke Dlamini ngoba umakhulu wami ozala utata uMadlamini uMafazi. Mandibulise nakwi SGB. Our government has taken a good position that schools must be governed by a school governing body with the teachers and the learners, all of them forming or formulating that structure called the SGB. So Mandibulise nakwi leadership SGB, if they are indeed present today. Now leadership RCL, your representative council of learners, if there are any Mfundisi. Ndibulise nakuni if there is any. There were prefects and there were LRC. I was a prefect and I was an LRC member. I was a deputy head boy and I was a RCL member. LRC good. And I was a councillor for the East London Junior City Council. I was a councillor for the East London Junior City Council, where all isikolo zalapha eBuffalo City, they came together and they formulate a council called the East London Junior City Council. Usodolopho ngomhlobo, his name was Thompson. Intwana yaseCambridge, Thompson, engusodolopho. Ndayi-debut yakhe, kodwa yayindini imeya. Ngendozendebutazi lo mhlobo. But technically, deputizer. Let me also greet the committee members who are present here. A school is nothing without a community, because a school is located in a community, and therefore the community must be part of the learning and teaching of the learners. We form a school. The community, the learners, the teachers, the educators, and the professionals. All of us will come together and we form a school. I'm here by default, and no invitation. I'm here by default. What I mean by default is that I've always longed to be part of a school. Whatever they celebrate or whatever they do, I've always wanted to be part of the school. And I've always missed any activity of the school. Ask my PA to diarize for me the event. I said, Ulwazi, I want to go there, talk to the PA, say diary, make sure that I get to this school. Program for myself in the office. Meetings. So there's loud most of the time, which is wrong at times. So I forget for the past 4 years that I must come to this school. So when I make a follow-up, principal, when is this event? I know Valedictory the event. But finally I'm here. I invited myself here. The principal, that leadership, I lead the ANC. You say you know, that leadership is up. One time I was starting, what you had one that okay, it's fine. I'll drive there anytime. Then I arrived, then I'm here now. As the African National Congress, we pride ourselves with this school. We pride ourselves with this school for the milestones that this school has achieved. And there are many milestones that you can count in terms of the achievements of this school, from the previous principal to the current principal in what they have achieved. I know from where you come from in terms of your matric pass rate and where you are now as a school. And you must keep it up. You must keep it up. The learners of this school, they must make the teachers, the parents, and the community proud. In fact, you have been doing that. Just be consistent with what you are doing. Be consistent, make the school proud, make the teachers proud, make the community proud. You will always be on national TV if you continue to make the community of DUNCAN proud. We are here because it's your valedictory today. And it's a moment to celebrate you entering another phase of your life. But don't celebrate too much. Don't celebrate too much. I was saying to Louis and the principal, I'm not even too sure that the end, but I think I did it also now. Yeah, I think I did it also. 20 years is a long time ago. Yeah? It's a long time ago, so I know it's on this. But one thing I want to instill in you is the 5 P's. In my interview, I put the 5 P's. The 5 P's is proper preparation prevents poor performance. So if you don't prepare yourself properly, you cannot expect moderate or excellent results from your matric examination. You can only expect results that are excellent, good, moderate, when you have put effort into your studies. So my advice to you matriculants, this is a 5-year period, 5-week period. Stay focused in these 5 weeks. Don't let anything distract you. Have self-control over your cell phones. Self-control over them. You need not to be told about your phone, my thing, you flight mode. You mustn't be told. Have self-control. Oh, Ziko, Amanda. That's perfect. I confiscate about women. Yeah, now take it. And I'm told I'm harsh. There was a telephone. If I don't get results what I expect, I take it. Telephone, what you? Sunday, if I'm thinking number 8, this drive to Joburg, it's gonna be an 8 to 9 hour drive, so she'll be bored up in the lane. Won't do coffee phone, won't drive or more. Won't do coffee phone as cousins are. Hey, that thing, Fundisi. I say, Kupila down, coppers. No, but I guess. Hey, that thing, man, pin and cheek, man. Think I look down now. Yeah, I feel that thing, shame. And she was asking for a phone to go. Slash, Mastibana, I said, Toyota, I'm driving back, can't pay the phone, the efficient away, it's a lie. So I gave it back to her. But you want to get hooked at the phone young done as part of discipline. And she came back being number 8 in the whole grade. Wow. And she came back giving me O level 6, no level 7 from this. Wow. That's what she gave me to tell me last September. And I was not happy with the June results. So that's the reason why I took the phone. I'm very strict. Because I was never supervised when I did everything in life. So funny supervisor, umdana lo wami. Yokuthiwa apha uMalusi opens the gate for everything. In the absence of uMalusi, you are an empty vessel. You are an empty vessel. We thought empty. And we thought empty. Yes, I don't there you go. Fundani, Nifumano grade 12 is the minimum entry of life. Is a minimum entry of life. Because tomorrow, if everything goes bad with you, you can be a police officer. You have a matric, you have a license, you go to South African Police Service. You are accepted. The course your police diploma. And other opportunities can be presented to yourself. Our situations and backgrounds must not define who we are. In fact, what they should do, they should determine where we're going, not where we are, who we are. I always say to comrades, because abantu must bana element yokudelela xa bekujongile ngathi ukhule soft kanye ukhule. I always say to comrades, if I have to put my upbringing to you on the table. It's not a nice experience. It's not a nice experience. And that's in one room. That's where my mother stayed in a one-room shack. I always make that example. And abandoned by 5 girls only. I was up. Myself and my brothers, I'm the firstborn. My brother is the secondborn, and we were raised by Umagazuan. Because my mother was very young when she conceived me. She was 18 years old. And she was 21 years old when she got my brother. And Umagazuan, she took us as her children. And then we had a little bit of comfort. Because Umagazuan factory, earlier corporation, Upper West Bank. Now there's a little bit of comfort. Now let's start with the 4-room RDP house. And every night when I sleep, I just think about my mom. At one point I went to a shack in Fundis. I got it underwater. Underwater, the only thing I could do was cry and go home and sleep. Because I felt useless. I don't have any might to help her to get out of the situation that she finds herself in. But I'm just a grade 11 learner at the time. Just a grade 11 learner at the time. So I'm trying to say, past year must not determine where you are going to, but it must be something that helps you to conquer in life at the end of the day. Yes. So, when we talk about our past as individual people, so as in a history, all of us have a history, and we don't have a good history in terms of family upbringing. We don't have a good history, but we tried to strive with that difficulties that we are faced with in terms of life, and we managed to make it, and here we are today. We are responsible young people, Sinekandu, African National Congress, to lead the society as a Buffalo City. It's not an easy responsibility that one has been given. As I learned in Fundis, I spoke to you early in the year that my daughter wants to come here next year. Ufunda Piley Fontaine High, she's doing grade 11. She wants to come here for the final examinations. Next year was when's grade 12 next year. The 4th. That's my pride, that's my joy, that's my everything. I was everything, this is born. And I feel like Sasa and feeling this elite. This is one. So you got my father. Yeah? I just home land every weekend. Principal, I want to be a part of the life of Ulwazi High School. I want to be part of this body called Ulwazi High School. As you graduate from grade 12, you must go to university. You must register now online for universities of your choice. Don't wait for the last moment to register. You also register now for NSFAS so that you get approved now and you don't find struggles next year when you have to enter the university. When you go to university, please be revolutionaries and join SASCO. Yes. South African Students Congress is a students body that is aligned to the African National Congress. Joinano SASCO kanifike varsity. Siyavana? Joinano SASCO kanifike varsity. Ningayijoni into joina nosasco. I want to make a commitment, Abamfundis. The top learners, male and female, as they travel towards starting a new journey, which is university. I know, okay, most of our learners, they struggle with utilities and so on. So I want to commit myself for the two top female and top male is to buy them their first month's toiletries, both of them. Is to give them each 2,000 for pocket money for their first month. Is to buy 2 of them HP laptops. So that's the commitment I make and for this. Toiletries, a full packet of toiletries that can last you for a month or 2. Wow. 2,000 rand, usahamba in the awareness fast bar, because it 2K apha ecaleni. Yebo? Une 2K yakho apha ecaleni uyaqhuba nge 2K. Xa kufika u-NSFAS, at least uzabona double. So competition is high. Nansi competition ke yona. Nansi laptop. You know a laptop is needed in varsity. Awuzoyithenga i-laptop, uzayiphiwa i-laptop. I'll be here xa nizolanda results with the principal and hand over that to the top learners. Now, principal, I want to donate groceries worth 1, 2. I want to donate groceries worth 20,000 for the school. So I want to make that donation because I know next week Friday is an hour. So on Friday I'm here, principal. I'm at Kandani. Next week. Okay. So it seems like principal, man has a man, but man is a grocer. I know that you take the super and I'll take the chicken. And then I will take the super. So, principal, that's the commitment I want to make to the school. I know you've always been asking me to come to the school, so that's my commitment. But lastly, learners, please commit yourself, focus, be dedicated. Once you do all that, you will get the results that you wished for. You will not enter university if you do not have a university entry, which is a bachelor. If you don't have it, awuzongena varsity. So njengokuxelela ngoku yokuba ndibheke varsity next year, you can only go to varsity, you have got a university entry, a bachelor entry. So stay focused, dedicate yourself, commit yourself, prepare yourself, learn. Learn all the work that you have been taught for the last year of 2024, and at the end of the day, you will be proud. So with those few words, I wish you all the best for the start of your examinations, and we want to see all 266 grade 12s emerge with a bachelor, a bachelor pass. That is the only good thing. There is exemptions. So that's what we want from you, bachelor passes, in order for you to enter into the varsity. And once you enter into the varsity, you will have a bright future and you will be a senior counsel just like my fellow brother here next to me. He's an advocate, but a senior counsel. Nandiyamnika is a senior counsel. And tomorrow he will be a judge president of the Western Cape High Court. Thank you very much. The battle is on. But so the choir, it is choir.
want to introduce the person. He was born and bred in Ndane, a small town in Eastern Cape province of South Africa. He did his basic education in Ndane and Butterworth and matriculated in 2015. In 2016, he enrolled for his Bachelor of Law at the University of Fort. He graduated from the University of Fort with honors degree in the Bachelor of Law degree, majoring in local governmental law, alternative dispute resolution, cyber law, and medical justice. Okay. Medical justice omagama makhulu apha. His area of interest are matrimonial law, tax law, civil law, contractual law, and labor law. He further attended law school in East London and completed his practical legal practice certificate at the Law Society in the year 2021. During the year 2022, he joined the law firm of Chiki and Assistant Attorney to complete his article in law practice. He successfully completed his article in the year 2023. He completed his 4th board exam and passed. Is now practicing as an attorney and Chiki Assistant Attorney, none other than Sikolile Mvila. Cela simkhawuleni izandla eseka phambili.
To the principal, deputy principals of Ulwazi High School, HODs, teachers, members of the student counseling body, government dignitaries, honorable Carls, Mr. L. Mkobelo, and the newly sworn in councillor, Mr. Nchabonchi. Religious leaders, pastors, bishops, fivefold ministry, invited guests, both from the public and private sector, community leaders, families of the matriculants, members of staff, student representative council, RCL, the matriculants, I greet you all, Molweni, and often comes out at the top. The school has built a legacy of excellence, and the legacy of excellence is rooted in hard work, in discipline, and commitment to greatness. Your results speak for themselves, and the awards you've brought home are a proof that truly the sky is the limit, no matter where you start. But what excites me the most is knowing that you haven't just represented yourselves. You have represented Ulwazi, you have represented the community of Mdantsane and the entire community of East London. You've shown that excellence knows no boundaries, and you have proven that success is not defined by your background, but your drive and determination. Today you are standing on the threshold of a new chapter, either university or technical colleges, whichever path you may choose, is calling, and I know many of you are already preparing a step. You are about to become the representatives of more than just yourselves, but you are going to become the ambassadors of Ulwazi High School, the ambassadors of Mdantsane, the ambassadors of Azania, and the ambassadors of the community that you come from. But the most pertinent question is, how will you carry this legacy going forward? The foundation you have built here in this school is very strong. Ulwazi has instilled in you the discipline and the values that will serve you in any environment. Whether you are stepping into the lecture halls of the very best universities in the land, or when you are venturing into any career path, remember that your success will not only reflect on you, but back onto the school and the community. You have the power to prove that excellence doesn't have an address, but excellence comes from within. One thing that stands out about Ulwazi High School is the discipline that runs through every aspect of the school's culture. As you step into the next phase of your journey, discipline will continue to be your greatest ally. It's easy to lose focus when life's challenges come your way, especially in universities or in the marketplace. But those who stay disciplined, who keep their eyes on the goal, shall truly arrive in Canaan. Close quote, success. I can tell you from my personal experience, as they have mentioned, that I am a young attorney, and not too long ago I was in a similar position as you. Excited about the future, but still unsure about what lies ahead. What has kept me on track despite the challenges is the discipline that I had learned earlier on. The world you're about to enter will test you in many ways. But if you carry the values and the principles you have learned on Ulwazi, success is guaranteed. As you go out into the world, I want you to remember that you are not just representing yourself. You are representing this great school, your family, Tanzania, and the East London community as a whole. Every success you achieve will be celebrated here, and every obstacle you will overcome will inspire the next generation of learners at Ulwazi. This is your opportunity to show the world that township schools can produce quality leaders, innovators, and change makers. You are living proof that Ulwazi High School is more than just a school, but Ulwazi is a force to be reckoned with. This is what I then propose to do for the remainder of the few minutes that I have, is just to give you a brief motivation on a title called Grace to Occupy Canaan. Grace to Occupy Canaan. In simple terms, you have the ability, a God-given ability to be successful. You are not just victorious, but you live life from a position of being victorious. So that's why even in the very holy book of life, when one of the writers called by the name of Paul, he says that the children of God are not conquerors. They are more than conquerors. Because Jesus Christ has done everything for them and has raised them to conquer. So not only are they just conquerors, they are more than conquerors. Because at school I get in a show a walk to a Uchiga Majiga. Won't drive, Onmobileyo, Utresiboni say about Nobelanja. Tina Asilwelu Ngoba, see a demonstrator. That's Nobaganja. I have structured my talk in this way. Firstly, I will give a brief synopsis about my very own life and how I entered the gates of my own Canaan, in brackets, success. This is so because I understand that perhaps some of us are only inspired by true individual testimonies as opposed to just words of wisdom. We are Zabanya Bantu. abafuna ukuxelela into ininzi banela nje bubungqina boba wena unqobe kanjani. Thereafter I shall wind up my talk on just two biblical principles under the theme Raised to Occupy Honor Canaan. This theme is desired to have the following outcome. Number one, I want us to be instilled with a mindset to occupy. Number two, to enable and equip ourselves to defeat self-defeat. And repeat, to enable ourselves to defeat self-defeat. Number three, to use the art of wisdom as a tool to conquer life despite individuals' weaknesses. Number four, to gracefully land and be domiciled in Canaan, in brackets, success. But let me just give you a brief testimony about my life. Ngikhulele kumhlaba wakucendane ezilalini kungekho mbani. Siyambulela uComrade Malendela noComrade Mbeki. Uthe nxa siphako grade 4 grade 6 sanayo umbani kulalali. We had no reference for success. Television, we could only watch it between 7:30 and 8:30. Silayite ibhetri sibukela indaba kutata. Sizobukela no generations. Licinye ibhetri ulindele ungomso. But inside of me was a burning zeal for success. Khulele ezilalini, abantu abanconywayo ezilalini yayingabantu abano grade 12, abantu abasuccessful, izingcibi, abantu abanenkomo. I had no lens to see beyond and above what was before me. But because I am graced, it's a God-instilled thing to be successful. I always knew that there was more to life than my circumstances. When I would watch television and see Ezweni Communications and Afro Media, I did not recognize that world. But I knew inside of me that that world is calling for me. I did not know how to arrive in that world, but deep inside, I knew I'm not just a rural boy. The only few cars we would watch, because we live in a coastal rural area, it would be around December. Nxa abelungu bezikhupha bedlula phambi kwelali yethu besiye elwandle eMazepa Wavecrest Oqologo. You would stand by the road as small boys, siqaje imoto, because inside of me there was an ambition for success. Yayithi savela pha imoto nesikitshane ndiyikhombe ndithi yeyam leya. I always wanted success, but I did not know how to attain success. Years traveled by. We had an uncle who was working at Bishop. Ibisho isayindawo enkulu, but yayinkulu kakhulu ibisho. Notitshala bethu nxa besiya ku workshop bathi sisayo Bishop ubabona onkabi baye endaweni ephucukileyo. We would only imagine what Bishop would look like because we were not privy to even see a tar road. Sasibona pe stratweni ku main road kwasiyavuma nxa siyothenga itha. Sizawupha siphinde siyibona. But even in those circumstances, there was still a grace to get into Canaan. So what would happen was, I had this uncle of mine. I'll share with you something maybe I don't oftenly share, because the few people that I've shared, where I share my first English lessons. I had an uncle who was working at Bishop. His children had the privilege to go to private schools. So what December nxa kubuyiwe wayesisa nalama coconut akhe afike kuthi akasazi isiXhosa ayakhumsha asibeve babathini babengafunwa ke ngabanye abazali because the sound that they were making would be bra 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 in our ears because we did not know English. Because ezilalini nobo uyayiteachwa iEnglish icapital letter omiss yayingaba bokuqala but icapital letter ngunobumba omkhulu. Icapital letter intoni siphinde sithi ngunobumba omkhulu. Even the very same English we were taught in Xhosa. So we had our literature skills were too poor. Bafika abantwana bebethwa zezinye cousins zam, but because of the zeal to succeed, I said I wanted that which is in these kids. Bakhumsha abantwana ndingabeva babathini ndihlale nabo. Had a cousin of mine ndahamba naye ndajonga ilula le nto yokukhumsha uthi bra 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 abantwana basiva nabo bazusiva masihlale nabo xa besithi bra 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 nathi sithi bra bra bra. That one did not last because eventually they were very confused, so we understood baya understandana bona mna nomzala wam sasinga understandani nathi sikhumsha. So I was born to a taxi driver. My father wayeneventure. He would play a cassette, and when he was playing a cassette nxa ehamba ngale venture yakhe, I noticed elinye le cassette lakhe likaDumim Kokstad kwakukhona ingoma yesilungu. I remember the lyrics to that song. I've never heard that song again. I've been trying to search for that song. There are so many people that will never understand why we are happy and free. And so we cross the river Jordan. I would sit in his car in his absence. The mameli sises lungu got to be boxer. The landele. Remember, I did not understand the words, but I was memorizing the sound. I sit it there, the sound there, so I would pronounce there. There are so many people, many people. The sole purpose was December. I'd listen to this cassette and skip until my father's car runs out of battery. Because the battery because they are even nalento the bistic on your light umculo emotweni ndimamele ndifuna ukwazi isingesi. Alternatively ndifake cassette kwi-hi-fi ndilibeke ibhetri elangeni because I was destined for success and I knew in me there was a person that must be successful. Ndayinqa ingoma bafika abazala bathe besathi hi, I don't know what they were saying. Remember, the context of the song will not even speak to the conversation, but nevertheless it is English. But they said hello cousin, did the Rasul. How are you? What is there many people that will never understand? Like Pelly lyrics, the Rasul. You know, the last time I was here, I just motivated you and then I did not give you my personal story. I thought this session must be a bit affectional and just give you the other side of it. So, viewers is lungu, what right? Makuya banda ba dale dining room. Uya kumsha unyalaka no mawe tungo. I've always been confident. Dangeona e dining room abazali bathe ngwadalana. That ndiyakwazi ukumsha kodwa uyakwazi ukumsha notata akayazi ba ndiyakwazi ukumsha. That is there are so many people. My grandmother said tata lo mntana uyomfundisa egcuwa. That is how I landed in a private school. My parents could not afford, but because I was so hungry for success, baqonda bazawuncama nemali yokugqibela ba mandihambe nyokhumsha nabanye abantwana. From 4 a.m. funeka ndibe sendivukile isikole egciwa ngo 7:20 siyaqala. I'm from a rural area in Tendani. 4 o'clock, 4:30, funeke bekandiseyiphuma nemoto. Ngafika phayana, I remember when I was going to be interviewed. Babuza otishala ba uyakwazi ukukhumsha nandwebile. Utata uyasazi mose silungu sama isiso. Wathi hayi akakwazi ndabe chibili ngakaba ndithi hayi ndiyakwazi ukukhumsha. Ngona ndifuna umxelela ukuba there are so many people that will never understand. One of my dreams is to meet Ubhuti to be Gokstad and just share with him that he was my first English teacher. But to cut the story short, I went to the school. By the Lord's grace, I was able to get good marks, and I went and I was successful in matric. Despite the circumstances. But if everyone has the ability to succeed, why is it that not everyone is successful? If everyone has the ability to succeed, why is it that not everyone is successful? It's a question. And then I've realized that we are not defeated by circumstances, but we are defeated by ourselves. That's why we must be able to overcome self-defeat. Kufuneke sikwazi ukoyisa ukuzoyisa. Ndaliphinda le. Kufuneka sikwazi ukoyisa ukuzoyisa. I will give you a biblical principle as an example. Ikhona incwadi eBhayibhelini. Cela niphendule imizuzu zokugqibela sendiyabala. Ikhona incwadi eBhayibhelini kuNumeri chapter 13. Verse 30 to verse 33. Uthiwa pha, these people belong to Canaan. They must go and occupy Canaan. They are graced. They were given a word by God that go to Canaan. When they landed, when they were about close to Canaan, they then amongst themselves bathumela izibhayisi uba maziyojonga lo mhlaba waseCanaan, because they were promised that the land lalinobisi nobusi, about success, because in this talk the word Canaan is success. But when they had been close to approaching success, bafika bakhoba babona ingcilimbela. Now, I don't have a problem with them seeing ingcilimbela. The problem is their report and their self-defeatedness. Babona ingcilimbela, bazibona ziboyisile. Because eating ngesingesi, when they saw them, it seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers. And so we seemed to them. So, bathi bozibona ingcilimbela, bazibona bona bezintethe. Ithi nxa idlula baba zintethe ke ngoko. So the consent to become grasshoppers was created by themselves. Babengezontethe bazibona bezintethe. Xa idlula ithi baba zintethe ke ngoko. So uzibona wahlulekile wahluleke ke ngoko. So that's why you must overcome the mentality of self-defeat. Because the mentality of self-defeat iti ndahlulekile. And then from ukwahluleka kwakho wahluleke nyani. But the consent to fail came from you. Abantu bavele bazohlule bona. Bathi banofundela bekhaya. Athi noma lumyanxile. Nam ndawuba linxile. Athi naba. Athi noma masakohlula isikolo na wasibaleka isikolo ma nam. So, in order to succeed in life, we must fix your attitude. Because really, you are already a conqueror. But we must deal with your mind to understand that you are a conqueror. But if you do not see yourself as a conqueror, no matter how brilliant our teachers are, they will never be able to bring out a student, an A student in you. Because an A student must first exist in you, and then the teachers must extract that A student in you. So the success and the metric results, the teachers help extracted them, but they are in you. If they are not in you, the teachers, there's nothing that they cannot do. They can do. Number 3, I want to talk about the art of using wisdom despite individual weaknesses. Solomon has written about these things. Uti, there are 4 things on earth which are very small. And then he says, yet they are extremely wise. He says that ants are creatures of little strength, yet they store up their food in summer. Uthi imbovane zizilwanyana ezincinci ezingenamandla, kodwa ukutya kwazo zikufumana ehlotyeni. In other words, a person who is going to be successful is a person who is wise in life. They do not procrastinate and they do not live for today. Baphila namhlanje becingela ungomso. Kuba imbovane ebusuku kuthiwa ziyafa. Azifi imbovane ebusuku. Imbovane azikwazi umelana nengqele. Zithi ehlotyeni zizakhele izindlu. Zithathe ukutya ziyokubeka ezindlini zazo. Kuze kuthi nxa kufika ubusika ziyohlala ezindlini zazo. If you do not prepare for tomorrow and you are an ant and winter comes, you will not be successful. Idlula iti, they are heresies. They are heresies and creatures of little power. They make their homes in the tracks. Thetha ngembili. Azinamandla. Kodwa sizakhele edwaleni. Babe nisenkonzweni ibizawuba lula uba yenza isense ke le yedwala. Futhi imfundisi benonyuka kule ndawo. Ndibabize bamkele uYesu. Ithi nxa idlula, locusts have no king, yet they advance together in ranks. Ithi intethe azinankokheli, kodwa ziyakwazi ukusebenza kunye and get results. It's talking about the ability to work together, the ability to have soft skills. In the marketplace, there are people who cannot work with other people. They are brilliant. They have passed. They've got degrees, but they don't survive in the employment place. bayagxothwa because they do not have the wisdom of grasshoppers. Let me try and round up my clock. Now, we are talking about Canaan as a matter of success, that we must arrive in Canaan. But how do we arrive in Canaan? We have been told that we are all graced to arrive in Canaan. Now, there are 4 men in the Bible that had leprosy. But there was a destined place for success, yet they were excluded from being at a place of success. Uyabona nxa ujonga umuntu omnyama, ndiqinisekile usecretary uzovumelana na. Ngokwe-economy yase-South Africa, what was intended for a black child was to be excluded and be thrown outside the gates, so that they do not come and enter and dine with the kings. Umuntu owayeneqhenqe wayethathwa abekwe ngaphandle uba makayozifela. Wonke umuntu esasifo kuthiwa iqhenqe wofana ngathi une-COVID uyo-quarantinwa, but death was guaranteed. So we are talking to excluded people in the economy. When we are talking about abantwana bamnyama, particularly abantwana from the townships and rural areas, the system is meant to exclude us. But I want to give you an attitude that these 4 men had, that they had the grace to occupy the table, regardless of where they come from. Noba usuka ematyotyombeni, noba usuka ku-2-room, 4-room, noba usuka ezilalini, you have a place at the table. These 4 boys, what they did, athi la madoda masihambeni CEO siyohlala pha ezintenteni, ba-excludiwe. But ukhona umntwana wase-Ulwazi othi ndiyaya at the table of success. My circumstances do not say I belong there. I do not look the part physically, but inside of me there is something that there is a seat for me at the table. I'm here to invite people to come and occupy that table. These men, I love the grace of God. These men in their bodies were very weak. They had no power. Just like you and I have no power in the sense of financial power. But the grace of God intervened for them. Dilapha ndizothetha umusa kaThixo phezu kwenhloko zabantwana. Uba noba awunamali noba kokwena naziwa, you have a seat at the table of success. There is no connection that will hinder you. Kuthiwa akuqashwa nge-qualification, kuqashwa nge-connection. Kodwa baselwazi abazudinga connection, bazawudinga i-qualification. To sit at the table. These gentlemen were very weak in their body. The leprosy was a very scary disease. Kuthiwa wawuthi uhleli kuvele kuyimpumlo. Nabo tata uBishop bangayiconfirma la. Kuthiwa la madoda abambana oyi-4 athi if we stay in this situation we die. If we go to the ones that excluded us, we die. Therefore, ukuhlala apha nokuya pha kuyafana. So they went to them. But this is what is amazing. Each time they set a foot forward, God would make a sound in the ears of those in the table. bave ngathi kukhona umkhosi ozayo, yet there were weak people that were coming. Every time bebeka inyawo phambili, ithi nxa icacisa, they would hear an army from Israel coming with horses and chariots. Elo xesha kuza abantwana basemdantsane. Whenever you make an advancement in your life, noba uapply UCT, uThixo uza kuncedisa with the grace. Kube khona isandi ngongathi ngumntana osuka endaweni eBhethele kodwa usuka endaweni engathathelwa ntweni. And those that are inside the tent will open space for the weak man. Ngathi ndithetha phezu kwentloko. Bathi kho nxa besiza phambili, kho nxa bebeka inyawo, baba basententeni bafikelwa luloyiko uba ukhona umkhosi ozayo. As a result, kuthiwa bathi bafika bebalekile ententeni, izitulo zabo zi-empty. Kuthiwa la madoda afika ahlala axhamla. This will be the result when we know that we are graced for success. Each and every step we take, God will go before us and open spaces in strategic places. Xa sihamba apha siphuma eUlwazi, even if you have an ambition to go to Stellenbosch, there is a space for you. Do not look yourself and say, I do not qualify to go to Stellenbosch. Even if you are just coming from a shack, there is a space for you in Senti. Even if you are coming from the deep rural muddy places, there are places for you in the palace. And I want to invite you that come and occupy. Nidlulile kwi-stage soba ngabanqobi, seningabanqobi, ningaphezulu kwabanqobi. Your results speak better for yourselves. So there are few things that you need to do. It's the attitude to succeed. Yiba nentshisakalo yokuphumelela. Yiba nentshisakalo yokubona bhetele nakunale meko ukuyo. In closing, I want to give you this simple message. Believe in yourself as much as Ulwazi believes in you. Continue to carry the values and discipline, hard work and excellence, because it will take you far. You are not just preparing for university or just your career, but you are preparing to shape the future of this country and the community. Go out there and show the world what you are made of. You are a Ulwazi High School pupil, and you are destined for greatness. You have greatness written on your foreheads. Kufuneke uthi uhamba noba uye eteksini, uyixelele iteksi uba see me now, see me no more. Now uphuma egalini elikhuliselwe kulo that you must appreciate. But uzixelele enhliziyweni ngaphakathi that shack, see me now, see me no more. When you walk amongst people abangenakutya endlini ingayazi uthi poverty, see me now, see me no more. Xa uhamba phakathi kwendawo edusty emadi uthi see me now, see me no more. Uyabona uba awukayi onyanyi okanye not mandingathi yonyanyi, you must see this level that you are, but you must not desire it for yourself and your children. You must respect the contributions of your parents, but you must aim higher for yourself. So that in the next 10 years, not only your life will change, but the life of your family. And when you are gone, you must come back to Ulwazi and make a contribution. Ningathi Ulwazi, see me now, see me no more. But now city see me no more, Ulwazi. Uti this version, you are seeing it now. You will see it no more. Because when you come back to Ulwazi, you will be a total different person. And when you come back to Ulwazi, you will not need to speak, but your life shall speak. And you shall go back to the children of DUNCAN. You shall not only speak, but your life shall speak. God bless you.
We really need to cover this grace. We really need to cover this grace. It was not him speaking, but God through him. As young as he is. Bishop, please come. Tell us thandazele nanku umntwana ezawusetshenziswa esetshenziswa nguThixo ezizweni. Cela simbekele izandla sithandaze phezu kwakhe. Sawugqiba serelease the word uThixo aqobo lithetha phezu kwabantwana bakaThixo. Cela sisondele mongameli. So Father, in the wonderful name of Jesus, this is your Son, the Son of the Most High God. We thank you for your word. Your word is living. Your word is powerful. Kuthetizwi lakho in this place. Sibulela Jehovah wemikhosi that umnika amandla amatsha in his belly, Spirit of the living God. The greatness oyifakileyo ngaphakathi kwakhe menze Jehovah wemikhosi ibe nakho ukuphuphuma. His cup is overflowing with blessings. We thank you that he is blessed going and coming. We thank you, Spirit of the living God, for the grace, and it's a double portion upon his life. We thank you for favor upon favor. Siyakubulela moyo ingcwele that kwenze wena kuthethe wena in this place. Nabo bebengamamelanga abanye mhlambi whatever that he was saying does not make sense now. But sibulela that izwi lakho lintshulile ufike walifaka ebantwaneni bakho. It does not come back to you void. We thank you, Spirit of the living God, for covering him. We thank you, Jesus, that igazi lakho phezulu kuye enhloko kuye ezinyaweni linako ukuba nako ukumprotecta egameni nasegazini likaYesu. The good work that you have started phezu kwempilo yakhe, surely you'll bring to accomplish. We thank you. We give all the praise. Naba bantwana bakho Jehovah wemikhosi uthethile ugqibile. God will be able to touch each and everyone in this place. Father, you know the condition of their hearts. Benze babe nako to receive this word egameni nasegazini likaYesu. Amen and amen. God bless you.
Now relax. Asindawo. Sifuna ke ngoku sizawucela umfundisi asenzele ufefe. Ukwenzela into bana simane uhlelo 15. Kuzokhala umculo ke ngoku ngelixesha kuphakwayo. Ungoyiki senzela into bana iphume iprocession bayokwazi nabo abafundisi ufumana into yokuxhasa umphefumlo. Sizawucela ke ngomfundisi abene ezosenzela ufefe ukwenzela into bana sizokwazi ukuphuma. Then I'll tell you into bana sizawutya njani, sizawutya ngeorder ne sibambeke. Sizawucela umfundisi abene azosenzela ufefe. But before that, ngifuna ukugqithisa nje a message to both our guest speakers here on behalf of the school and behalf of matric class of 2024. We want to say to you, it is beyond 4:30. We appreciate this gesture in Yenzle to stay here until this time. Banyabantu, they usually leave when time is not held. But we promise, we will work hard on that. Let us not do this African time thing. Let us be professional with time. But we want to say to you, the message it may seem as though they were not listening, but they are listening. They will process what is being said. And because uzawungena iclass kungekudala uzawufunda namhlanje kucaca into yobana le nto ibithethwa apha kuthi kufika la grocery benendawo yohlala izindlu bayavuma ngoba siyayifuna le class siyayifuna le class siyayifuna le class izawungena iclass izawungena yona iclass because ngumthetho lowo. That is the law of this school into yobana iclass yona funeka ingeniwe so that their prize izawufika in January of the top 2 learners. Never. Yes, okay, good. So we want to say to our guest speakers, siyabulela kakhulu. Maybe by the next time we see we'll have a proper structure. There's a plan in progress. Something is happening. Something is happening. We will invite you. We'll have a school hall. It will be a mega school. It's in progress. It's moving. So we want to say, Indobana siyabulela kakhulu. To honor this program, we appreciate your presence. Kumntu wonke odinileyo walapha siyabulela kakhulu indobana sifumene le mini. Zawucela ke siphakame sonke sawufumana ufefe from umfundisi abemnye.
Samkeleni kufefe lona kukusigcina amaphepha uzuko nembeko walethu ufefe lenkosi Yesu Kristu nobudlelwane bomoya ingcwele ngafinyelela kuthi manje naphakade. Amen. Amen.
Shut